So I've always been into working out, and I've done many different things. I've done Pilates, yoga, Orange Theory. What's the other one? F45. I've been to a lot of gyms. And so throughout the pandemic, unfortunately, I kind of fell out of shape, and I didn't feel comfortable going to gyms for a while. And so I got engaged in December of 2020, I think. Yes. And basically we started planning actually a year later. And so I got married on April 30th of 2022. And so I basically realized shortly before, because we were planning in such a short time, that I wanted to get back into shape, that I wanted to feel good in my dress. And so I thought of Eric. I knew Eric from another gym, Coach Eric. And I reached out to him, and immediately he was super welcoming. I kind of broke down my goals. I wanted to basically look more toned for my dress and really good for my pictures. I included my maid of honor, who also wanted the same. And so we ended up coming to Coach Eric, and we did mostly virtual sessions. He was super flexible, and also a couple of in-person. And what I really liked is Coach Eric is super positive, knowledgeable, motivating. And so he's everything that you would want in a coach. And I felt like the environment in the studio when I would come was really just very welcoming, and I felt comfortable. And so I really liked my sessions, and throughout our sessions I felt just motivated to keep going on this fitness path. And by the time my wedding day hit, I felt a lot better where I was at. He got me the best in shape he could, given that I wasn't very good with my diet. He did the best that he could, and I felt really good going into my wedding day. And beyond that, I feel more motivated now to keep working out. So I thank you to Virtuo and Eric. So on my wedding day, I felt very comfortable getting into my dress. I felt a little bit more confident than if I hadn't worked out at all. I felt like the dress fit me really well. I wasn't worried that I'd try to put it on and it wouldn't, fit anymore. And so it just felt really good to just get the dress on finally after months of waiting for it. And I felt like when I was walking down the aisle, again, I felt confident. So I didn't feel like I was worried about how my pictures would look or anything, because I felt pretty good about myself and like at that moment and how my dress looked on me. And so I think overall it was a really positive experience. Again, working out, finally getting my dress on. And I even considered getting a second dress for my wedding. But after wearing the one my primary dress, I guess, I did kind of get a second one actually. I felt really good, and I didn't feel a need to like take it off and try something different on to get more comfortable. And so yeah, I mean, I think overall it just made me feel very confident in myself that day, and just focus on the things that really mattered, which are like, my husband and my family and friends, and making sure we had a good time. Because honestly, sometimes if you don't feel good about yourself, you feel like really out of shape, it's hard to focus on those other things that are more important. And so, at least for me. And so I think if I kind of knocked something off the list, right? I wanted to feel a little bit more comfortable, and I did. And I was able to fully enjoy the rest of my wedding. I recommend the studio and Coach Eric specifically, although they're all great trainers, because it just feels very warm, welcoming here. The first day I was here, I met some of the other coaches. I met some of the other clients that they have here, and it just felt just very personable and like safe, right? And then on top of that, I got a really good workout, right? Because it's good to feel comfortable, but in the end, you want to feel like you got your butt kicked, and I felt that way. I felt like I got a good workout in, and I felt very comfortable coming in. The days that I wasn't able to come in, Eric was very flexible with trying to figure out through many texts how to coordinate the schedule between myself and my maid of honor. And he was always on time, always ready to go, always had a great playlist. And so just overall, it was like the best experience you could have going into a studio. Sometimes they can be intimidating or feel cold in my experience, but this was like the opposite. I felt totally comfortable, felt totally at home when I would come in, and when I would do the sessions online, it also felt, you know, again, at home. Like I was working out with a friend almost, but not the sense that you're gonna get off for, you know, on an easy workout, not in that way, but in the way that I felt just motivated and like it was a fun environment. So that's why I enjoyed my time with them. Congratulations on your upcoming big day. I hope that you come into the studio and you get some sessions in and that you feel really comfortable, you know, overall on that day, before the day, after the day, right? But I think for this big day, there's so many things that you're gonna have to be planning and concerned about that you wanna make sure that at least the experience, if you're gonna try to just come in and get some workouts in before your wedding, that at least that part is very easy, or in terms of, you know, coming in and doing and the process of like joining the gym and being in the space, whether it's online or in person, you wanna feel comfortable and good about that. And so at least make that part easier on yourself, and I encourage you to come in and you know, and get started. I guess that's the hardest part, right, is getting started. And like I said, you have a lot of things on your plate, but make this one of the easiest and most fun, and while being challenging, right, and getting to your goal.